so obodo nye mbo
Owa hula jeruwa
anyị mere Chineke anyị mere Chineke anyị mere ọbaso onye mbụ ụjọ kọlọte na nna na nwa na mmụọ nsọ amen mgbe anyị kele ọbaso onye mbụ. The chairman and the entire Mbise nation, I bring you one greetings from Nasarawa State. It's quite interesting to see that something of this nature can happen within our own frame. And I want to congratulate Prof. Opara for his dedication and commitment. I will run in two parts. First, I will show you a video clip, and after that, I will say a few things before I can take some questions. Our youth should be the first, it should be the second, and the third priority. This is the part we must set for this forum, the MPR. We must see MPR as an active part of our society. This is the only way we can appreciate the effort that is being put by our team. And I'm happy to be part of this. I want to congratulate all of us watching. And I hope at the end of our discussion tonight, we shall go home with something that will encourage us to do better than what we are doing now. But permit me to show you a short video clip of
Okay.
I want to ask the moderator, you can enable sharing so they can watch this short video clip of CSS, and I will speak from that point. Thank you very much.
So Joachim, is it possible to enable sharing for Professor John Kennedy Opara, that we can share some audio visuals for the house? I think he's not there right now. Is it possible for us to have this when he's ready, and still go ahead with the discussion, Uncle JK?
Okay, that's fine. I think he's
yes.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, I think he has done that. He has the next video.
Now I can see his back.
Okay, great. So yes, so we need to get the our keynote speaker to share.
Moderator, please unmute yourself.
Okay. So I was wondering if you can enable sharing.
We're on.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
I always say this: those who live beyond themselves live beyond their time.
Please unmute yourselves while we watch.
Praise God. State. Went ahead to do my master's from the University of Jos and later on my PhD from the University of Jos. And I've been privileged to attend so many universities: Oxford University, Cambridge University, Harvard, Stanford, and of course the last of them all, Columbia University in New York. I've been privileged to serve 4 successful presidents in Nigeria. I started with President Obasanjo, worked with him, later on President Yaradua, then President Jonathan, and of course the last was President Muhammad Buhari. The journey has been the one that I will say it has not been rosy, but above all very inspiring because of who they have stood by me all these years. So in a nutshell, that's John Kennedy, happily married. And I always say to people, I'm a husband of one wife. Every vision must be visible. The passion I have for our country drove me to the establishment of the vision of CSS that we have today. It's my desire, it's my prayer that CSS becomes an efficiency-driven company of first choice, providing excellent goods and services at competitive prices through creativity, innovative technology, and strategic partnership. CSS group of companies, we have different segments. The first aspect of our job is integrated farms. And this farming aspect of our job is from the interaction I have with the Israeli Prime Minister. And this is because in Israel, I was privileged. Till today, I'm still the first Nigerian that ever took a sitting president of our country, Nigeria, to the state of Israel. I took them round and showed them the miracle of Israel's technology in the area of farming. Now, they built what we call a kibbutz system, where Israel don't have the kind of farmlands we have here, but they have the technology. So to manipulate the small land they have to give them what they want. They are into major exports of so many things. Then here we are. We have land, we have everything. We have the environment. Israel don't have water like us. We have everything. So I decided that part of my effort to contribute to the society, a segment of our organization, the CSS Integrated Farm, is to make sure that we set up a training center where we train people to sustain whatever we are producing. I realize that many people are into farms, but they think that nobody is thinking about tomorrow. We are not into this just for money. You are into it because you want to recreate your environment. We want to make sure that food becomes the easiest thing that anyone can afford.
My name is Alon Shimshi. I'm the owner of Mirai Group from Israel. We are happy to be here in Nigeria, in this beautiful farm of CSS. Mirai Group is a group from Israel that doing agriculture in Africa. And we're trying to develop the area to have a situation where the youth of today will be a great farmers, commercial farmers in Nigeria for long term. To come here to this area, to this farm in 10 years from now, and to see new generation of farmers that grew here in this training center, and they're doing large-scale commercial farming.
My name is Dr. Ifoma Unachuku. I'm the General Manager of CSS Group. The International Scale Acquisition Center, ISAC, is a world-class institute of agriculture for people to come and learn effective agriculture and business. That is my dream, that states will also come and learn how to improve agriculture as a business in Nigeria.
Farmers are heroes!
Hold on. I'm proud of you.
Doing well, especially that aspect of the youth employment. He has told us thousands of youth from different states to farm to help.
I'm highly impressed by the visit here and what I have seen and the effect or impact it has made on me, which is very pleasant and positive.
You can see how happy those people who have taken part in this program are today. That at least they were put through a formal education, something that looks like a mini university for agriculture. And that enthusiasm is what is going to drive their activities going.
I am really very impressed. I'm highly enthused, I'm quite excited, and I'm happy that we have personnel who have come here, we're trained, we're given laptops, including digital farming.
Well, I'm very impressed with what I think that this is the way to go for our country and our youths.
Very, a good learning experience to be able to visit the CSS farms. I'm very impressed by Dr. John Kennedy, who's put this together.
I want to say thank you very much to the chairman of this beautiful center, Dr. Kennedy Opara, and I would like to commend his foresight, his leadership, strength.
We're highly impressed. We had come here today thinking we'll just come around the simple farm, but my sister and I were both just going on and on about your achievements. A remarkable farm by a remarkable man.
I am highly impressed with the setup, with the caliber of personnel, with the graduates too, and the program that is being done here.
I don't think there's any facility that exists in West Africa today like what we have here. You've done everything, and I think this is something that should be commended. And I honestly, from the bottom of my heart, commend what CSS is doing.
At CSS, excellence is our culture. Passion is our inspiration. Creativity is our brand.
Thank you very much. I hope we've been able to show you a little bit of CSS farms. I am not going to go into my presentation, but permit me to say that I owe depth of gratitude to the former governor of Imo State, Emeka Edioha, who set the ball rolling by giving the opportunity to the young Imo team to be able to embark on this training. And I pray that the Lord will help all the other leaders to key in. We may not live forever, but the products of our creativity can leave a legacy long after we are gone. And that's what we are doing today. I commend Professor Proji for this opportunity. The future is for those who dare to dream and find the courage to pursue their dreams. I want to encourage every youth, as we do a little presentation to you, to key in and see what the future has in store for you. The word impossible is nowhere in the vocabulary of CSS, and that should be something you must hold on to. Now, the presentation. Okay, moderator, I can go ahead, right?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can go ahead.
Okay. All right, so thank you very much.
Okay.
All right. The 21st century skills and resources to leverage agricultural value chain by my humble self at a conference on agricultural skills and acquisition by MBSEN Policy Roundtable, presented on the 7th of April, 2021. Agriculture in Nigeria is transitioning rapidly from subsistence to a business sector capable of generating wealth for Nigerians as any other sector of the economy. For me, agriculture is the future of Nigeria. We have passed the stage to rely on oil. WRI report estimates that we need about 70% more food in future than we have today. Because of the effects of the COVID-19, I believe strongly that the right time to go into farming is now. It's a huge sustainability challenge, but unlike other sustainability challenges, everyone and every state in Nigeria can play a major part, especially the young ones, in finding a solution to this challenge. The work of today will make tomorrow possible. Nobody arrives at his destination with their preparation. I always say to young people, not everybody you see at the airport is traveling somewhere. It's only when you are focused, when you are determined to make a difference, that will be possible. Let us make today count as we drive sustainability in agriculture in our great country. Agricultural value in terms of food chain refers to the set of actors and activities that take a basic agricultural produce. For example, guinea corn, maize, name them, from its production to its final consumption. When I was lecturing the students some time ago in the Power of Vision, I said to them that if you want to make life out of agriculture, you must go beyond ordinary harvesting. You must go into processing, and that will make a difference. When you process the food, you get a lot more. Example, from maize, you can get starch, pap, animal feeds, and so many other things. Israel, for example, continues to innovate this value chain, thereby producing, never seen the economy of Israel in crisis. Some years back, when I had an encounter with the Israeli Prime Minister, who was my very good friend, one of the things he said, when I took 14 governors and 4 deputies, was the president then, Jonathan, to Israel, at a dinner he hosted, he said, and I quote, "The food Israel will eat in 15 years, we already have." Everyone was excited. But there's a statement of fact. After the meeting, I asked him one simple question. Mr. Prime Minister, I want to understand the meaning of that statement. He said, here, we have the technology, we have everything we need to turn the desert into a land that can give us whatever it takes to make us a great nation. And from that, I realized a leader is someone who has discovered and mastered something to live for. I trusted that man's statement and I keyed in and I said to him, I shall be back to you. And when I finished, I got back to him, and that's where we are. Now, while I was in government, I began to expose the Nigerian youth to the miracle of Israel technology. I took them to different areas, the Speaker of the House, the Deputy Senate President, so many of them. I showed them, this is Israel, a country of about 23,000 square kilometers, and they are able to send billions of dollars worth of agricultural produce to other nations of the world. Now, where are we? Only Benue State have more than 33,000 square kilometers as land. Now, when you look at this, you ask yourself, what do we do and where do we go? And I basically said the short to victory. It is greater than capacity. When you rely on knowledge, you are able to move the system forward. And we need to get our youth to have that understanding, to have that knowledge. Now you ask yourself, what will CSS do for you? One, the training opens your eyes to your weaknesses. It boosts your self-confidence, and it brings you a step closer to where you're going in life. And there are 4 major levels of agricultural value chain that one can key in. Number 1 is the input supply. 2, the production and the farming itself. 3, processing and packaging. And the 4th one is marketing and trading. Now, when you talk about input supply, you look at the inadequate internship, apprenticeship, ability to quality storage. More of our people are not privileged to undergo the basic agricultural training that will help them minimize and reduce the time they spend. I am a man that is time conscious. I always say to people, time is like a flowing water. It's like a flowing river, and you cannot step in the same water twice. So when you maximize time in terms of training, you'll be able to help yourself. Now, the seedlings are not there because we are not exposed, and even where to store them are not there. And the high cost of agricultural chemicals and agricultural input pulls people off. But we have been able to overcome this. I want to thank God for what the CBN is doing. That when you do the right thing, you can leverage on the agricultural loan available to be able to sustain what you're doing. The other one is production farming, the limited access to land, especially for MPC Nation. I presently in Nasarawa, the CSS, we have over 1,000 hectares of land. And I was laughing with my people one day, and I said to them, you can imagine what will happen if I go to my state. If I go to MPC land and say I want 1,000 hectares of land, it means I have to take over people's houses. But then you can start from somewhere. Israel don't have all the land. Now, limited access to land, I know is a challenge. Poor pest control. People are still doing as if the farming of today is the farming of yesterday. No. The responsibility of development is heavy. The road is very clear. The clock is ticking. And our country, our nation, our state will bear witness to our actions. If we do the needful today, we'll be able to get there. Poor irrigation. Now, when you go to processing, processing has been the key. Limited appropriate storage, for example, cold room chain, lack of technical know-how in the use of technology and digitalization, high cost of power. This, of course, presents a lot of challenges. That marketing, I said to the people, if you want to succeed in agriculture, you start from what the people need to grow for them. In that way, you can actually access and capture so many markets. Presently, what we are doing with the Bauchi state government, we are training about 2,000 youth for them. And I said to them, when I was living in Bauchi, Bauchi was #1 in the area of beans, that's the cowpea. But today, where is Bauchi in the world, in the world map? You need to get back to this and tell yourself, we must do the needful. Now, lack of online experiences, lack of mentoring and technical support and lack of capital. People will say, that's why I'm not into farming. But I want to tell you that all these things are things we can overcome without much challenges. What I require from the youth of our nation, from the youth of our state, is determination. Maybe the nation may be small, but our people are remarkable. And the feats we achieve are amazing if we are committed to doing the right thing. Now, when you look at mitigation of these challenges, at the same time, talk about high quality training. In CSS, we have our Israeli partners who also take part in what we do. We have knowledge base and exposure to sustainable agriculture. Without training to change ingrained mindset, it will be difficult to mitigate the challenges. Most people come with a mindset of it's not possible. That's why I said to you, in CSS, there is nothing like it's not possible in our vocabulary. Everything is possible. And the Bible made it clear in Matthew 19:26. With God, everything is possible. At CSS, Opara Training Facility, we have a demonstration farm where we are able to teach the students how to farm. We also have a bigger farm where we do the commercial farming. The future belongs to those who generate ideas. Ideas rule the world. Ideas move the people. If you don't have ideas, you cannot rule anyone. Those who are mindful of the future, they will never miss their destination. Our destination is clear. An Israeli friend of mine said, I wish you luck. In Israel, we do not have diamond, oil, or gold. But what we do have is beneath our skull and could transform this desert land into a strong economy, any more than you can think in agricultural product export. Israel's economy ranks within the 30 top nations in the world today, the 8th most powerful country in the world. That's why, according to UN report, in the Skill Acquisition Center, Isaac, I believe that here we are turning young millionaires, as you can see them in the field, training. As you can see how we train and expose them to the best technology in agriculture, give them the best facility they can think of. Some of the youth, when they come here to stay, they don't want to go back, but we leave them equipped. There's something I told them someday. I said, look, the world stands still for any man or woman who knows where he's going. If you don't know where you're going, you don't like where you end. We have great professors from different fields who teach them. Professor Vincent and Boga, and so many of them from Israel and different people that we trust. A great leader creates more great leaders and does not reduce the institution to a single person. We have to make sure that we empower people. We encourage our youth to do more than they're doing now. I saw something, and I believe that if every youth in our society, in our nation, keys in, we have no business with unemployment here. The committee of vice chancellors came to visit me, and I said to them, we have no business with unemployment anywhere in Nigeria, anywhere in this part of the country. Why? Because I can tell you, the market is there. This is a nation of over 220 million people, and we need food. Food prices are going up every day, assuming we are able to produce more. Look at, for example, you decide today to go into fisheries. For example, Nigeria as a nation consumes about 3.5 to 4 million metric tons of fish annually, and we are importing more than 2.5 to 3 million metric tons. A young farmer we train here can start with juvenile of about 1,000 pieces. A juvenile costs 20 naira. If you start with 1,000, that gives you about 20,000 naira to start. And you grow the juvenile to about 1 kg, and you sell it about 1,500 naira. That gives you about 1.5 million. And that is what it's all about. Then you talk about maize. America today is the world's largest producer of maize, everyone knows. And here in Nigeria, we are the highest in Africa. What is our production? What is our output? Last year, because of COVID, we did about 11,500 metric tons. America did about 325,000 metric tons of maize, and they are number one. And now, Nigeria as a nation consumes over that much, and we have to rely on importation to sustain. Come on. Assuming you take 1 million hectares of land that we have about 4 million in a place like Bauchi, then you take 1 million acres of land and then do only maize. Internationally, maize production is about 1.69 tons per hectare. In my farm here and CSS, we were able to do 6 tons per hectare. Now multiply that. If we multiply 6 tons per hectare for 1 million acres, that gives us about 6 million tons. That means Nigeria will export maize to America, will export maize to other nations in the world. 5 countries that grows the highest in the world: China, India, name them. These are the great countries that grow maize. Then we can actually export to them. Now, if we go back to Mbise and we say we are doing 50,000 hectares of land or 100,000, that means that we can actually feed Nigeria and entire Africa with our maize production. If you look at poultry, which is very open to everyone, if they use after training decide to go into poultry, Nigeria earned about 454 billion from chicken meat alone, and we produce about 3.8 million eggs. Now, in our farm here, our target is simple, that before the end of this year, we'll be producing 3,000 crates of egg every day. Currently, we are doing over 1,000 crates of egg every day. And now, if young people, after training, can start small, we have an order now to supply 20,000 broilers every week. And these are opportunities that are available. And if we can sustain that, then what do we have to do with unemployment? Insecurity, kidnapping, armed robbery, banditry is a product of unemployment. When we conquer unemployment, we stabilize the economy. We build young men and up, and they will never go back again. Now, mitigation of challenges at our center here. Forming cooperative, farm crowding, people can put their resources together in farming activity. You can decide to invest in feed mill. Our feed mill is one of the best we have in the country. Our rice mill is one of the best ones we have in the country. And we are running something that Nigerians can be proud of. Our target is simple. In our commercial business farm venture, we want to make sure that we reduce the prices of food that everyone can actually afford. We use our greenhouses, net houses, hydroponics. We grow vegetables in 21 days. What we are doing in Nasarawa is never done before. In Nasarawa State, for the first time, we are growing carrots, we are growing grapes, the grapes that you import. We are growing sweet melon, we are growing seedless cucumber, everything here in Nasarawa State. When the governor of Nasarawa visited me, he said, this is impossible. But I say, in our farm, everything is what possible. We don't have any possibility in this place. Gentlemen and ladies, I think this is the right time, and we are hitting the ball. And if we hit it hard, I can tell you, nothing can stop us. We also use our farm automation. As you can see, you have our system in the poultry where machines pick egg and process and make sure the eggs are aligned according to their weight and sizes. The farm automation technology tackles major concerns such as mapping, mundane tedious cultivation tasks. Examples are tractors, drones, planters, seeders, harvesters. We have all of them. Everyone we train in this place lives with a tablet PC, and we load the software, we load information for you. When you are in the field and you have a challenge, you can call back to us. Now, like I said, if you are doing farming without value addition, you're wasting your time. The value you add makes a difference. You will remain as relevant as ever the moment you bring in value. And I say this to you, no one is ready to invest in you as a person. They invest in the value you bring. When you bring values, people will invest in the value. People will invest the value you add. No one wants to invest money on you as a person. People come in here, they say, what are you going to bring on the table? It is very clear. This is my product. Now look at the value addition we've done in Gary. When you see Gary, you think there's an imported Gary. Some time ago, somebody from the US called me and said, when I saw your Gary, I thought it was made in the US. I said, yes, because here is better than the US. And look at all the honey that we produce. I am proud to be a Nigerian. Several years back, I was traveling, I went to Canada. And when I got to Canada, the immigration officer said, I asked him, can I take my call? He said, go ahead. And the president called me and said, I need you to return back. And I said to the man, I'm going back immediately. He said, what? How much was your ticket? It cost me more than $10,000. And I'm flying back to Nigeria. He looked at me and said, how I wish I can be you. I said, I have never in my life thought of spending my time outside this country more than a week or a few days. Why? All that I need to be great is here in Nigeria. I can find this space anywhere. Look at the products that we have. Beans, flour, egg. Our eggs are customized. That carton you're seeing there are dry fishes we produce in the farm. The best you can get anywhere. Our online presence and trade makes it possible for people to access our product. Trade online has a wider audience than the conventional market. The clearest advantage of online trading is the reduction in transaction costs and high fees associated with transportation, flexibility it offers. We can deliver to you anywhere. We can give you whatever you need, wherever you are. We must understand that the time for us to conquer the nation is now. Collaborate with strategic partners. We don't grow alone. No man is an island. We have different people. We are working, we're leveraging with the Bank of Agriculture and the CBN in assessing a bank loan for people, which the former governor of Imo State started. And I pray that God will help Imo State to get back on track. We need to do that by providing funds to these trained people. After training them, when they go back, they are able to feed themselves. I said to the Baptist governor, if I'm able to train 2,000 people, just know I have raised 2,000 millionaires for you. These men, in less than no distant time, will become millionaires. I gave them statistics and I told them this is what is possible. And I believe if we can leverage on this, nothing can stop us. Our trial is on, but the pressure will not abate. But we cling on the moment of faith, trusting that God will see us through. I believe that a lot is out there for us to capture. Now, very important, monitoring and evaluation through extension services to assess the progress, to assess the program. We must correct and make adjustments needed for success. Without monitoring and evaluation and visiting the team, you will not be able to assess what you're doing. This monitoring helped us sometime in the time past when I visited Delta State with my team to be able to assess the progress of those that we trained. And it really encouraged me. I saw they were doing very well. I saw that these ones have keyed in to make a difference. And I'm happy to say that those young men and women are great men and women today. Look at them. Look at different pictures of these men. The young girl that I trained her in Israel. And today she's one of the people, consultant to the Delta State government in the area of poultry. She's been doing very wonderfully well. And so many of them that are still working. You can see different things they're doing in different states. Those we train, that's rabbit and other animals. It is pertinent for us to know that the future we don't work for, we cannot guarantee. Only the future you work for, you can guarantee. Only the future you live for, that you can enjoy. As a nation, as a state, it is only the future we create that we can enjoy. We must do the needful to train our farmers and help our farmers to be able to sustain what we are doing. If we do this, we will be able to change the narrative. I'm so happy that we are heading somewhere. Unemployment will be history in Mbisela, in Imo State, in Nigeria. Our youth, through training and transfer of knowledge, will make a huge difference. I can tell you, if we embark on this journey together, in less than no distant time, nothing like kidnapping, nothing like armed robbery, everyone is busy. In my farm here, we have almost 300 something workforce. People work with me till late. And when we close, we have a lot of time. I mean, they don't have a lot of time to spend with anyone else. We work here, we live here. During the COVID-19, I told my workers, we're going to live in the farm. We're going to do work night and day. We are able to supply food in virtually all the states of this country. Every state should be encouraged to pursue programs to snowball into food reserve center. Our target is simple. We can train Mbise youth. They can come up and have a food reserve center at Mbise or Imo State. We can train any part of this country. With this food scarcity, will become a thing of the past. I always say to people, if you are slothful, you miss your slot in life. No sloth waits for an unslowful man. No sloth waits for a man who is not prepared. Only those who are prepared to meet their future will enjoy the future. When you are not excited about life, then you don't have anything to live for. What we prepare for is what we'll enjoy. If you rest while you are supposed to be working, you'll be late to rest. I don't want anyone to be late to rest when you have all the energy and strength. It is time to work or never. The future is ours to possess. And God being our help, I am convinced beyond reasonable doubt that we will make Nigeria proud. We'll check the narrative. Finally, to those youths who would like to leave their mark on this country and beyond, I say to you, the stage is yours. No one occupies the stage forever. The stage cannot wait for anyone. but if you can take over the stage, and when you take this stage, make the best out of this. We have traveled too long, very near to a destination point. Let the future be our strength. Let the future be our hope. Let Nigeria be a place of inspiration. And the same nation be a place of courage. The Lord bless and keep you all. Thank you very much.
Excellent.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah. You can ask questions for me before I leave. That's fine.
Thank you very much, Professor John Kennedy Opara, our able keynote speaker. Please, can we appreciate either by waving or putting our hands together to appreciate our speaker? I think
I'm so proud of you.
I'm really proud of you, and this is.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I have a question.
I'm so proud of you today. I didn't be so.
I have a question, please.
JK, you've done well, my brother. You've done well.
My God.
I'm so proud of you, my brother.
It's tremendous.
Very
So
great. Prof, I have a question for you.
Okay, so what we'll do is we know there's going to be a number of questions.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And this is the keynote. So we will take the questions in batches. So there's a, you can raise up your hands for us to be organized. There's a function on the participant list that allows you to raise up your hands, and we'll now pick a person to ask questions. So it would be nice to batch the questions so that the speaker can leverage on the time to address as many issues as possible. So we have 2 hands up, and we'll start immediately. Please write down your questions if you've not been called, so that it goes straight to the point. It's questions that we're interested in mostly, so that the speaker can speak to those issues. So we'll have Uzo Ihonu first. We'll have Sister Mary Uneze and Nedi and Ndidi. So these are the 4 questions, and I'm happy that, well, I won't say that, but let's have these 4 questions first. So starting from Uzo, just go ahead, read out your question. Sister and Nedi, please write down your questions so that it quickly, you can read them out once it comes to your turn. Thank you. So unmute your Uzo, please go ahead.
Thank you, moderator. And the professor, you've done, this is, I don't know how, I don't have the adjective to describe what you've done. This is outstanding. And you are an inspiration. And thank you so much. I haven't seen anything about agriculture presented in the public in this manner. So I'm so proud of you, and I'm thank you, just like everybody has appreciated you. My question is, given you said that you mentioned, I didn't start from the beginning, but I came in when you started talking about what, being in Nasarawa State and 1,000 hectares of land. It's very difficult to get such amount of land in anywhere in MBC at one, belonging as one piece. People own land individual and divided. In what way can we in MBC, if agriculture is going to be taken very seriously in this manner, how can we make up the challenge of land in MBC, given that land are parceled according to kindreds and all that? How can we meet up that challenge? Because if you're going to get into commercial agriculture, it cannot be by the way it's being done now, subsistently, parcels of land that less than 1 hectare belong per person. How can we meet that challenge?
Thank you very much. Let's have a sister's question.
I'm still writing. Okay, right.
Okay,
and
so,
my question. Okay, first of all, I want to thank.
Go ahead, sister.
Thank you.
Okay, first of all, I want to thank the professor. He has done marvelously well, honestly. I'm so proud and happy to be part of this conference meeting. And my question is very simple. How can one connect to the professor in case one wants to join in this training? Is there any email address or something like telephone number or form to register, or what? That's my question.
Thank you very much. Let's have Nedi's question.
Good evening, all. Thanks to Prof for the great inspiring keynote. My first question goes to is towards sister's question. How can we contact Prof if we have intention of being trained? And secondly, please, Prof, how can you be of a help to us to overcome the challenge of inadequate internship in Mbise land?
Is that internship for students? Can you clarify, please?
Yes, training of graduates or undergraduates in the area of agriculture.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Can we have Didi next, please?
Hello.
Yes.
My hands are up.
Yes, we can see.
Hello?
Hold on. Yes, Ndidi, go ahead. We're taking it in batches, please. Ndidi, go ahead.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear. Go ahead, please.
Yes, I so much appreciate being here tonight. I thank the Prof for having done so well. But I have a problem with starting and maintaining a farm. I have in the past started, but the retention has been a problem because of funding. So much has been said about government giving grants and loans, but sometimes you find out that these don't really get to the grassroots. My question now is there a way that the Prof can assist some of us who are genuinely interested in farming to succeed? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ndidi. Can we, so we'll now be going back to our keynote speaker, but before we go back to him, we would like to also say that Florum, Cosmas, Roland, and Adindu will be the next set of questions. And one other person whose name is not there, but is calling with an iPhone. So Professor John Kennedy, can we have you respond to some of the questions? The first person, okay, go ahead, sir.
Go ahead, moderator. Sorry.
Okay, yeah. So I just the summary. Well, I don't know if you're taking notes, but I think Uzo asked about how to overcome the challenges of land, given the issues of facilitation by kindred in Mbise. Sister talked about how to reach you as well. And she also mentioned the issue of inadequate internship for young graduates in the agricultural sector. Personally talked about how you can support those who are genuinely involved in agriculture, like Sada already has a farm. So thank you, Prof. So let's hear your response, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Before the Prof, please, 1 minute, let me mute everybody.
Okay, great.
Okay, Prof, unmute yourself. Let the keynote speaker continue.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Thank you so very much, sir. My sisters and brothers, I thank you for appreciating me. I am not taking it for granted. I remain as little as God have taken me to. What I am today, I owe it to God. I came from no background, but I thank God for mercy. If God can take me to this side, He can take every one of you much more. I believe that God has a plan for every one of us. Now, let me respond to Uzo. I know that we have a major challenge in Mbise land. That's why many people have come to ask me, why can't you set up this in Mbise, the problem of land? But I want to recommend something to you. We have a system we operate here. We do seasonal farming and out-of-season farming, as irrigation. Even with 1 plot of land or 2 plots of land or 1 hectare of land, you can be doing all year round farming. You don't need to have 5,000 hectares at once. I started here with a hectare of land, from 1 hectare before we go to 1,000 hectares. So you can do season and out of season farming by doing irrigation, different types of irrigation, sprinkling, whatever. You can also go into greenhouses. So with whatever we have at home, we can manage like the Israelis. They don't have all the land, but they manage with what they have. So I want to recommend that if you want to go to farming in Mbise land, you can think of seasonal and out of season farming. That's introducing irrigation. That will help us to be able to achieve quite a lot. So you can start small.
Please mute yourself, please.
The noise is so much.
Excuse me.
Okay.
We can continue, sir. Unmute yourself.
Can you please make me a co-host as well, so I can also help you with some of the muting and unmuting? I think
yes.
you're doing it because you've really done a whole lot today. Thank you.
Do we still have our keynote speaker? Okay, hang on, let me find you. Is Dr. Omongre. Okay, don't worry. You're a host, sir.
Can you hear me?
Unmute yourself.
Okay, good.
Dr. Omole, unmute yourself.
Okay, you were off for some time, Kennedy, but you're back on, sir.
Oh, I was not hearing anything. Sorry. I said for sister, number 2, the information is on the board for how they can reach me. It's very simple. My email address and my phone number is available. Number 3, Ned. How can we contact him? The same thing is available on the board. My information people are already putting that for you to see on the screen. How can you help us for inadequate training of the graduate and undergraduate? It's simple. I started with the governor, then Emeka Ihedioha. With the help of Mbalewe, we were able to do quite much. But now people can also apply. You can send us an email and information about yourself, and when you want to run for training, that information you can send to us through our email. Ndidi talked about the problem of startup and sustaining. Every business in life has its own risk and challenges. But one thing has come, I have realized, the central bank is genuine. For example, you can be collectively an anchor borrower, and that's what the governor was doing then. You get this fund for the youth, and then allow them to have access to this fund. But then, depending on the area you can go, after your training and the land, you can show CBN. Once they see that you have the facility, everyone, they'll be able to come and access and give you small loan to start with. They are really doing very well in that area. And I commend the CBN governor and his team. All you need is to contact your own bank. Let them be able to feed the funds with you, and then you can start. If there's any way we can help you here too, if you send me information, I can also do a follow-up and assist you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Prof. We will take the questions from Floor Room, from Cosmos, and the others subsequently. So let's start with Floor Room. If you're there, can you unmute yourself and ask your questions? Like, just read out your questions. Please write down your questions so it reduces the talk time. Thank you.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone. My name is Aki Mbalewe Onoha. Prof, thank you very much. You have done so well. We are so proud of you as an Mbise man. I have listened to your laudable achievement in the area of agriculture. I took note of what you do in the processing, in marketing, and all that. But I didn't hear much about preservation, because most of those agri things, produce are very perishable. For example, tomato, vegetables, and all that. What efforts are you making in preservation? For example, I have this olive, I don't know whether you can say it, is preserved and it will endure, it will last till July. So it's something that is perishable, but it's being preserved. So how can you talk, what can you say about preservation in your, in your CSS agricultural endeavor? Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Florum. As you can all see on the screen, the email address has just been put up for the team participants at this conference to send in emails or ask questions or request for training from the CSS group. info@cssgroup.com.ng. Their website is also active and up. You can go to www.cssgroup.com.ng. This website is functional and it works very well. So, so feel free to take down notes quietly while we move on to the next question from Cosmos. So Cosmos, go ahead, please. Cosmos, can we hear? Can you ask your question? Okay, let's have the next person now. Trying to get ready. The next person is iPhone. I don't know who that is. Can you ask your question? We'll come back to Cosmos.
Okay.
So introduce yourself.
Okay, I just unmuted myself, but I'm just assuming that the iPhone name tag is Collins Olorondo. So first of all, I really do appreciate every presentation.
Introduce yourself, sir, please. So we know who you are.
Yes, yes. I said my name is Collins Olorondo. I'm based in Houston, Texas, and I'm a very big part of one of the, I don't know how to say, but very much involved in the community service in NBC. So, well, so far that's okay. It's not about me actually. I just wanted to first and foremost, say my gratitude to the professor for his presentation. It's very, very clear and understood. And secondly, most of the information that you just posted, the email address, the phone number, and the rest of them, people like us can reach out directly and talk to him for certain guidance and more information. However, the aspect that I would like to maybe have him address publicly right now will be in the area of collaboration, between our community. See, I come from the autonomous community called Adakam Amomara. So, and that community is located along the riverine area, along Imo River area from Itu. I mean, from very close to Itu, sandwiched between Itu and Ife. So my question is, most of the lands are laying dormant and they can be used for collaboration in agricultural projects like that. So I was wondering what the professor thinks in terms of collaboration between autonomous community that can provide the land aspect, and then, what other resources will be needed, to go into such a collaboration. That's precisely what I wanted to ask publicly. The rest of them I followed up directly, behind the scene. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Collins Olorondo. Yeah.
Olorondo, for your comments and questions. If Cosmos is ready, we can take your question. Otherwise, we'll move on to Roland. Is Cosmos ready? I think Cosmos is having some challenges, so we'll move to Roland. Roland, can you unmute yourself and ask your question, please?
Hello.
Go ahead, we can hear you.
All right. During your presentation, Prof, you mentioned having a food reserve center in NBC. Now, what will it take to for CSS to quickly have a food reserve center in MBC? What will it take? Because it's a move that will help our people. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Roland. We'll move on to Adindu. Please unmute yourself and ask your question.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. My name is Afone Adindu. First of all, I would like to say a big thank you to Prof. It was indeed a great presentation and eye-opener. It taught us a lot. I've learned a lot from it. Yeah, moving on quickly, I wanted to ask, I have asked this question on the chat box, that I hope there are plans to replicate such a feat in the Southeast. Secondly, and because of a lot of stumbling blocks or roadblocks, I would say, in line with trying to achieve this in that region, are there measures put in place for strong collaboration with the government of the Southeast? Judging from the fact that such ventures require a lot of huge resources in things like land and finance. I hope there are plans to make strong collaboration with the authorities so that these things could be available for use. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Just to state that on the chat, we have also included the email address and the telephone number, as well as the website URL for CSS group. So you can reach out, copy down those numbers and still reach out to them in your private space. We have one question that we can just take quickly. Is last hand is up from Bayola. Can you kindly unmute yourself and ask your question, please?
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
We hear you well. Go ahead.
Okay, let me also join in. Yes, my name is Professor Viola Onwolelu. Let me join every other person to congratulate our brother, we call him Uncle JK, on this wonderful presentation, but very importantly, on the CSS group that he brought to bear. It's a wonderful place. I've had the opportunity.
Okay. We're having some challenges, Prof. Ma. If you can hear us, can you unmute yourself? Can you unmute yourself? You can. Okay. So while we're waiting,
In fact, I was there at the beginning during the former TJN.
Okay, Prof is back. We can now hear you. Go ahead, Ma. Go ahead, Ma. Can you unmute yourself?
Yeah. He's been a wonderful resource for young people, and I think that is very, very important. The others that have been trained, many more will be trained, and he's reached out to government and persons. And I'm happy today, I'm also hearing that individuals who want to be trained can apply. That creates additional opportunities for people everywhere. So I hope with time, they will also mount an online training so that people in diaspora can be part of the training, and at least the practicals can then be done later or whatever. So I just want to join everybody else to commend him greatly and to say we are very proud. This is a wonderful contribution from the Mbise Nation. Those who want to hear should hear this. This young man that has set up this wonderful farm in Nasarawa State is a son of the Mbise Nation. We're very proud of him, And in the same people are very resourceful people, and they contribute to any community where they find themselves. So, JK, congratulations. May God continue to prosper the work of your hands.
Moderator.
So we hope that the young people will draw a lot of inspiration from this and get to higher ground. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prof, for your contributions and also for really situating this major achievement of Dr. John Kennedy Opara and the CSS group, and for all of us. I think it's our own as an MBC nation, and we are really proud of what we have seen. And definitely from the interest on ground, we can see that everybody wants to be a part of this huge success, and definitely I'm sure it will happen.
Sorry, Mr. Moderator. On a lighter note, I wanted to ask Professor John Kennedy, if every other person that had visited the farm have been shown, I'm still expecting that my photograph will appear there, because I was also there.
Your photograph was there.
We saw you, ma'am. We saw you.
Oh, I didn't see myself. Can you imagine? I was wondering. What is it?
Ma'am, you were a little distracted. I saw you, ma'am.
Yeah. So let's, we have some other hands that are up, but we'll keep that for the next batch. So the last batch. So let's hear from our keynote. The questions that came through, a lot of them were comments, but they were key questions on the possibility of having an online training platform, both for locals and diasporans. There were issues around the strong collaboration. What will it take to achieve strong collaboration in the Southeast and bringing this to the Southeast? There were also comments on how do we quickly actualize the idea of having a food reserve center in Mbise. Was thrown up by the speaker, by the keynote speaker. And there were also questions on areas of collaboration for one of the autonomous communities, Agokam autonomous community, and what sort of collaboration can be done given the issues with parcellation of land and some of the challenges, and what resources are needed for collaboration. And other things, there was also a question on preservation of food. You know, how is CSS preserving food, and how can we also add value to the issue of food preservation for subsistence and the commercial farmers as well. So, Professor John Kennedy, can we please hear your response?
Thank you very much, moderator. Can you hear me?
We can hear you, sir.
We can hear you, sir.
Okay, fine. Let me start with my sister, Mbalewe Onoa. Part of the thing I spoke about was processing. And processing of the vegetables and other agricultural produce helps to enhance the lifespan of this. I also know that in our family, we have quite some good number of cold rooms, which of course is very important. If you look at what we used to do, when you harvest tomatoes, if you want to sell a basket, is in where we are here, it's about 3,000 or thereabout. But you can dry these tomatoes, take away the water and the oil, and then have it preserved and kept in a cold room for the time you want it to be. The same thing with leaves. You grind some of them to powder. You can change. You have done quite a lot. How I wish you have time to come to our processing center, where we have all kinds of machines that freeze dry, that also helps in processing the items and then packaging it in such a way that it will be longer. In fact, if you see yam, when we finish processing our yam powder, you can imagine. Now, when you cut the yam open and like that, in less than a day, it's bad already. But when we process it here with some technologies that we teach our trainees here, it's quite amazing. And the cold rooms are necessary for them to also stay and last longer, those that want to be in the cold room anyway. So in this part of the place where we have taken care of, and the technology we give to the students are also here. When they come for training, we teach them that. So that's why we recommend that all of them must go into food processing and preservation that will help them make more money than before. My brother was talking about the collaboration, especially in the community of Adakan, area. In fact, your land is blessed because the land is always green where it is watered. And you have water here. We can go into sprinkling irrigation, can go into drip irrigation with you, and the communities can come together. That's okay. Let us connect this water to the empty land. And I can tell you all year round, we'll be doing farming. If you come to our farm and see the maize we are growing in dry season, because how we are growing in dry season, you ask yourself, is this possible? So your land already, you have the water. I want to encourage you to see if you can have a meeting with the people that understands that you have a vision for that area. And we will be able to assist you in any way possible, be able to see that come to pass. Somebody asked me the Food Reserve Center in Mbise. Yes, it is a must. I am working, in fact, one of my managers in charge of logistics, he came to me this afternoon. He said, look, when are we going to Mbise? I said, we will soon be there. We want to make sure we set up our feed mill center where people can go access our growers, finishers, and fish feed. All the 6 layers of feed, they can access it in Mbise land. We're trying to get that up and running, and before the end of this quarter, it should be on. And we are trusting God that is something that we must achieve. And we're also looking for people, young people who can decide to be distributors of the feed, who can decide to be distributors of all the other things we produce here. We're looking for those young men who can collaborate with us, and we can become your off-takers. Whatever you produce, we can buy it off you, process, and give you, you can sell. So the door is open to the Mbise youth and the people that want to really come in. I didn't know, you spoke to me about the plan to replicate this in Mbise. Absolutely we don't have the land, but we will do everything humanly possible within the time frame and capacity that we have in Mbise to see what we can do. A governor friend of mine joked with me. He said, what if I decide to take this on the whole land is in my territory? What will you do? I said, well, I may go home. So, but that means that I have to begin to make plans to go home to see what we can set up. But I promise you, our mind is there and we're working on it. Just pray for us. As we get more of you collaborating and working with us, I think the door will be open. The collaboration door is open for cooperative, for outgrowing, and so many things that you can do with us. It may be able to drive us back home earlier than we think, but I can assure you a food reserve center is on the way in our place. My one and only OPU, I want you to know that your picture even appeared twice. You went with me to Jos, and I owe a debt of gratitude to my mentor, late Professor C.O. Onwole, who made it possible for me to do PhD. And that was why when I finished, Jos University named their best hall A1 after me. And I want to say that you have been an inspiration and source of encouragement to me. And I know that we are going on to make our nation proud, not only in Mbise, but all our people proud. And I want to encourage the people who want to go online. The door is open. You can actually connect to us online. We're doing online training. One thing you can know about CSS is an international organization. We are ISO 9000 certified. We are ISO 2000 certified. And so we're one of the few farms in this part of the world that is ISO certified. And we are proud to tell people that whatever you buy here, whatever you are doing with us, you can be sure that is of high quality and international standard. So we are open. I believe when I finish answering the questions, we'll round and show you a 1-minute clip of what the Oxford University Academic Union did just to honor me in London and the presentation just for 1 minute. So when we finish answering the questions, moderator, you can go on, please.
Thank you very much, sir. We have other speakers coming up, so we'll just take the last batch of questions before we would go. But let me just add one question that has come in from the chat. And the question is about palm oil processing, yes. And how can you advise with regards to value addition in the palm oil and palm oil processing, or in palm processing as a whole, not just oil. Then we have questions. We'll take questions now from Uzo. And well, no, Uzo, hold on. Before Uzo, let's hear from Dr. Mrs. Ndidi Oporoji. Can you unmute yourself?
Sure. Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, Doc.
Good afternoon. My brother, Dr. John Kennedy, you've done so well. And even before this was put in place, I had written something about you on my Facebook, and a lot of followers, especially the young ones, enjoyed your farm. I wrote something about your farm, which everybody really loved. So the question, and I wrote it so that the young ones will know that farming has gone beyond just taking the hoe and going into the bushes to dig for yams and stuff. It's beyond that. So for us to start plucking the low-hanging fruit for the young ones, my question is around the fact of how you make it really enticing for these young ones to really look at agriculture now as a fun thing, not the hard work that our forefathers or parents used to do. How do you make it really palatable for them to come in? And if MBSA is to embark on this, how do you make it so that they don't have to come up to Nasarawa to do their training? And I know you answered that a little bit. So that as we move forward after this, MPSA policy roundtable can now start maybe mapping out how we have our young ones who are willing to do this, be able to be trained to follow your footsteps. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you very much, Aunt Mercy. Let's hear from Uzo. Uzo has been written there.
Thank you, moderator. I yield my time so that other people who have questions. I've asked questions before. I failed to lower my hand, so let me.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. Thank you. So let's hear from Fidelis Mary. Quickly, can you unmute yourself?
Good evening, everyone. This is a wonderful exposure. I want to thank Prof for the wonderful presentation. Many of us don't know about this, that we have an important percentage of liberty. My question is, agriculture being a futuristic and lucrative venture, and having Prof as a person that is an MPC son, who would also like to leave a very good legacy. What plan does he personally have for MPC youth who might like or who might be desirous to enter into this, knowing fully well that there are many of them that might not be handy enough? Although the last person that spoke talked about Nasarawa, because to get to Nasarawa is a challenge. What plan does he have within our own enclave so that those who are interested can be part of this venture? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Fidelis Mary. Quickly, let's hear from Ugochukwu Emmanuel.
Cisco, is it my own Ugochukwu?
Ugochukwu Emmanuel.
Oh, okay, not mine. Okay.
If you okay, no, not yours. There's someone's hand who has been up.
Dr. Vitalis has been up, please.
Okay. So go ahead with your question, please.
Okay, please. I'm Dr. Vitalis Ojebwe, and I live in Washington, D.C. I'm not in the agricultural profession, but I am in the profession that has something to do with agriculture. I'm in the medical profession. I am very much delighted to hear what Professor Kennedy has presented. In truth, Professor Kennedy is not just an icon of agriculture. I can tell you, he is a legend of teacher. He teaches very well. I listened to him carefully, and I got a lot of stuff from there. Now, my question is not really in agriculture, but we have been having problems with security in Nigeria and in the Eastern region in particular. Is there any way that this can be done without much hindrance from security issues? That's just that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Vitalis. Appreciate your questions. So this is where we would have to call it quits. Okay,
just a short question. A short question. You can continue.
Yes, I needed to
okay.
make a
So hold on your question.
I want to make a comment.
Okay, so there are a number of comments, so we'll have to take comments. This is like the people's conference, so we'll give everybody opportunity to speak. So was Prof saying something? Prof. Zahanek, were you saying something?
Comments.
Okay, so yes, go ahead, Prof. Let's hear your comment, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, comment, please. Yes, I want to make a comment. I want to contribute. Yes.
Go ahead,
Can I
Prof.
go on now?
Yes, Professor, go ahead. Professor Joe, go ahead.
Do I have the floor?
Yes, Prof, you do.
Yes, you do. Prof, your audio may not be good. You're not hearing us.
So Prof will speak to us. Let's quickly take questions that are from. Let's get from Professor.
Can I go on now?
Prof, can we come?
Can I go on now?
Okay, go ahead, Prof.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much. I want to really Yes, let me congratulate His Excellency John Kennedy, Opara. Can I go ahead now?
Yes, Prof, you can. We're listening, sir. We're listening to you, sir. Go ahead, sir.
What is happening?
So Prof is having some challenges. Please, let's take questions. Amici Rosemary.
Yeah, mute him right now, sir.
I have done that already. Amici Rosemary, can you
thank you very much. Yes. I said once again, let me congratulate His Excellency John Kennedy.
Yes, Ibokwe, go ahead. We can hear you.
Where is my name? I am joining from Umuahia, Michael Opara University of Agriculture, Mudike. I cherish what is going on this evening, and I want to thank the keynote address who presented the keynote address. I want to just to comment on Hello?
Please go ahead. You can hear you. Go ahead. You can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. So my first question is, I'm fortunate to be part of this because one of the key actors in this MBC policy issue is a very distinguished member of a group I belong, and that is Her Excellency Professor Viola Onwulere, who kindly invited me to this forum. And along the line, I've enjoyed it. But it appears it is meant for Mbise kingdom, Mbise clan. Am I actually at the right place? Am I supposed to listen to this wonderful audience? Is it also possible to expand this knowledge, this forum, so that other people who are interested in farming or who are farmers themselves can benefit from it across the country? That is my first question. Then the second question borders on land. Yes, somebody asked the kind of land you get up north, the vast expanse of land you get up north may not be possible here in the the Southeast. Especially with the present policy that people should not sell land more than a certain acreage, you know. So how possible is it for a good farmer who wants large expanse of land to acquire maybe more than 10 or 100 hectares of land in order to achieve this particular goal the farmer has in mind? Those are my two questions. Thank you very much. Hello?
We heard you, sir. Moderator, please. There appears to be a network problem. Can anyone hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
We can hear you.
We are hearing you.
All right, very
Yes.
good. Where is our moderator? You probably have a
Joachim, we
network.
are hearing you.
Sir, we can hear you.
Okay. Okay. It seems like the moderator is having a network challenge.
Oh, sorry, I was I'm back on. Thank you very much, the last speaker, for your question. We'll quickly take the question from Collins, who sent in a message on the chat that he has a question for our,
Hello, can anyone hear me? I have a message too.
So let's hear from Collins, please, quickly. Okay, maybe he's off the call for now. So, Professor,
which of the Collins are you talking about, Chisco?
Yes, you, Collins Ugochukwu, Dr. Collins Ugochukwu from Canada, please.
Okay.
Yes, you're the one. You said you have a question from the chat.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
First of all, my name is Collins, Dr. Collins Ugochukwu. I'm calling from Canada. So, Kennedy, thank you so much for this presentation. I think I missed a lot. Last time I was home, you wanted to take me to the farm, and I didn't have the chance to visit that place. So next time, I must visit that farm. Thank you so much for the presentation. My question is about, in MBC, we have a lot of undergraduates, a lot of young kids going to school. And I think one of the youths, mentioned it during her question or something about internship. And most of them do not have places they can do their internship. I know you will be able to, I know you've done from this, you've really done a lot from this. I know you also have to, you would like to take some of them on board, for their IT or any kind of internship they want to do. But my question is, will you have accommodation for them? Because that place is very far, and I know it's a big farm. I don't know whether you'll be able to have accommodation for them if they come for internship for 3 months, 6 months, or 1 year, as the case may be. That's my first question, because Nasarawa is very far from home. And we have a whole lot of them, going to school, and they're looking for places to do their internship. And a lot of MBC people don't have industries or where, they can be employed. So that's my first question. And the second is a comment. There's so much hunger in MBC. I am suggesting that you also open up a warehouse, somewhere in MBC, because with the rice and Gary and all those, those ones they're not perishable, So you can open a warehouse there, and that will also help to create employment in MBC and put people there that will be selling all those things to MBC people. And I know this is a very big farm, and you're exporting, most of the produce. So I'll suggest that you also open, a warehouse in MBC that will create some kind of employment for our people. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Collins, for the question. So we'll take, we're supposed to be Okay, so Professor Festus, are you ready, sir?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, go ahead with your question.
I have a question.
Okay. Professor Festus, you're not clear. We can't hear you clearly. I don't know if it's the network. Okay, so hello. Can we?
Can I try again and
the network
the
is
comments?
the network is poor, and
we can't hear him very well.
Yes. So what we'll do at this point, we want to thank all the comments and questions that have come through. We still have the chat. Please, let's make use of the chat wall because the network is challenging around the country. You can place a message on the chat, a comment, a question, or some insights you can share with the conference while we make progress by allowing the keynote speaker to respond to some of the questions we asked. So let's type our questions in the chat. Then if the network improves, we may take one or two questions before we go. But for now, let's make use of that board since we're not having challenges with persons communicating across with the conference. So Professor John Kennedy, can we please have your response to those questions?
Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. I know it's been quite hectic because of the connection. Can you hear me?
Loud and
yes, we hear you well.
Okay. You spoke about palm oil. Yes, there's value addition in palm oil. How we can get to palm kernel, get the oil processed, the oil extracted, the kernel removed. In fact, there's a lot we can do from the palm. You can agree with me. Several years ago, Malaysia came to Nigeria, and Nigeria were leading in palm oil. But today, that is the oil boom for Malaysia. So we can also do that. In my farm here, we have ordered for an oil extractor machine, which will arrive very soon to extract the oil and separate the kernel. We're going to do that for soya bean and be able to produce soya bean cake and the oil cake, as the case may be. So it's a very good opportunity for value addition, because when you do that, you gain more rather than selling it to everyone. My sister, Dr. Opara, thank you so very much for your wonderful comment. Now, how do we make farming enticing? I forgot to let you know, if you have seen the video clip, we have a 250 accommodation facility for students. When you check into this place, there's no university that have this facility that we have. When the committee of vice chancellors came here, they were asking, is this place in Nigeria? So we have a very good accommodation that when the students come in here, we train them like we do in Israel. They will not have access to anyone else until the 2 weeks training is over. So we make it enticing. Everything they eat from the farm is organic. We give them healthy food 4 times in a day, and we give them tablet PC. When they are graduating, they go with the tablet PC. So, and I want to say, because of what you have said, that CSS will be able to train 20 youths free of charge from MBC in collaboration with MPR. If MPR can also put themselves together and we can harmonize, I will be responsible for training and payment for the 20 youths. And when we train them, we empower them. Then MPR will be able to say, this is the number we're also going to train. We work together. Let's use them as a template. When we set this youth up, give them 1 year from now, these are going to be young millionaires that will change the narrative in the land. And I can tell you, they will employ other people. Someone, my brother Fidel is married. What plan do you have for them beside you? I have told you already that I intend to train 20 free of charge. In fact, the one we trained during the time of His Excellency Emeka, up to now, the government of Imo State have not paid. But we are not bothered because we know we have sowed a seed in the life of these young people. And I want to make sure that we intensify. A day will come When they become rich men and women, they will remember where their source came from. And that's my entire mindset. I believe that we must impact on the people. When we leave a legacy, it will outlive us, and people will be happy. Dr. Vitalis Ojebwe, the medical professor, problem of insecurity. Yes, I want to say to you that I have summarized this when the Committee of Vice Chancellors came here. Insecurity is a problem of unemployment. I spoke to the governors of the North. I was the special guest of honor in the Southeast Agricultural Summit, where the governors of Southeast gathered in Abia. I spoke to them. As a gentleman, we have the opportunity to change the narrative. If we are able to bring unemployment to 0% in the Southeast, crime, insecurity will be a thing of the past. Everyone is working, everyone is busy. Now, who will want to go and be kidnapping anybody because you're busy? The next man you're going to kidnap will be busy in his own area of work. So we need to fight insecurity with employment. When we have massive employment, this will be a problem of the past. There are many things that we can do, and I want to encourage you. We can actually make sure that we encourage our people, we train them. If the former British Prime Minister said, if every single Briton is able to defend their homes, the whole of Britain is defended. Let's defend our homes by making sure we encourage and sponsor people. Now, I ask the question, can other people benefit from this? Yes. The system we are running, many governors, like I told you, we trained over 1,500 people for the governor of Cross River, unemployed youth. After training them here, today, Cross River is the #1 in rice in the country. Some time ago, they got a contract of about how many billion from Central Bank to supply rice all over the world. And the governor of Bauchi came. I took him to Cross River. He saw it. He came out of trained 2,000 people. Our facility here can accommodate 250 people per time. And we're also expanding so that we can have 500 people at a time to train. So other people can benefit. Abia State Governor was with me here. We trained some people for him, and he wants to continue because he has seen the result of the people we train. Land in the north, of course, is excess. But then what can we do? A friend of mine used to make a joke. He said, what you have in Nasarawa, can you take back to Imo State? I said, well, knowledge is power. I have the knowledge, I have the key. Anywhere you take me, I can replicate the land. So we may start with whatever we have in Mbise land. Small, 1 hectare, 2 hectare, you can start, and then you make a difference. Now, Collins asked of our undergraduates doing internship. Of course, we can do that. We have the facility to accommodate them. Now, anyone that wants to work with me must be committed and intentional in his business. We don't live casually. If you live your life to chance, you become a casualty. And I believe that anyone who wants to come and work and train with me, you must be intentional about your living. That means you must be focused. You must know where you're going. I don't work with people who are not serious. So when you come, you pass through our scaling system where you go through the question and answer and then examination. Once you succeed, of course, we'll be able to give you a place and then make sure that we empower you. So accommodation is not a problem at all for the people that we want to assist. So as for the food reserve in Mbise, is a must. Our rice packaging, one of the best in the world, we are going to have a food rice depot in Mbise land. And the essence is simple. If the rice outside is 25,000, we crash the price to about 20,000 or less, and the people can have access to food. That's where we are going. Our rice here we produce, we farm the land. We just recently acquired about 230-something hectares of land for rice farming. And that is for us to help to get rice. And we are working with the best season of rice to be able to get about 16 tons per hectare. If we succeed in what we are doing, for which we are going to, we'll be able to sustain our rice mill. Have a big rice mill that can give us almost a trailer load of rice every day. So you can imagine. Now we can move that to Mbise land. We have a place we can be storing and be selling. And then other people can also benefit. We have a customer experience center here where we have set out and map out the strategy to crash prices of food and just encourage and empower people. I think that we can do a lot together. I know the time is fast spent, but I want to appreciate you and tell you, let the MPR key in. For me, as an individual, as a son of Mbise land, I will pay for 20 youth that will be trained. There's people who are intentional, who are committed and sincere, and I will make sure we train them to the letter. We empower them to set up their business. And if we say policy roundtable can also take a good number, we merge it together and we use this group as a template. History will be kind to our generation. Get on board. God bless you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. I think there's a comment that has come up. Well, first of all, I want to thank you, sir, for your very insightful presentation and all the insights that you have, everything you've shared, including offering 20 scholarships to Mbise youth to also be a part of what you are doing with the CSS and integrated farms. So we appreciate you, Uncle JK, for this wonderful gesture. Unfortunately, we can't take more questions because we have other speakers who have to also speak.
Yes.
There was a comment that came as well.
There was a comment from Professor Ibu.
There's a comment that came as well, which regards one of the persons that was trained under the administration of Governor Emeka Ihedioha. So the young man is saying that he's very thankful and he wants to know if you can just share a little insight on cassava value addition for exports.
Yeah, Chisco is from Professor Mrs. Onwole was talking about Prophecy book where that is not from Mbise. He made a comment that if this can be shared with other people who are not from Mbise.
Okay, so I think, thank you very much, Dr. Collins. So I think that was a comment, not a question. That's the way I perceive it. So maybe that's why it wasn't. But I think the key thing is it's open to all and sundry. The farm is in Nasarawa State.
That was what Prof said. It's for everybody.
It's for everybody. It's open in Nasarawa State, and he's from Mbise, so it's open to everyone. So if people not from Mbise are already keying in, so I think the comment is also answering itself. It's open to everyone. So can we just, is it possible to speak to the issue of cassava value addition for exports? This is coming from one of your students who completed it.
Yeah, thank you very much. In fact, we do a lot. We are training them here in the cassava value addition. We can do starch, and we have two types of starch, pharmaceutical grade, commercial grade. So we can actually do a lot with her. Like I said to them after training, we can become the off-takers. We can also have cassava chips. We can have gari. We can have so many things. In fact, we are open on cassava flour. When I was working with the President Jonathan, the then Minister of Agriculture, who is my very good friend, the present President of African Development Bank, we worked together at that time, and we were able to get cassava flour where we are using to make bread. So we are very open. I want to encourage her. She can link up. We have a database for those who have trained. She has access to that database. She can send information to the center, Isaac Training Center, to the VC of the center. Of course, they will link up with her. We can have a lot of things, ethanol, whatever you call it. And we have different cassava, vitamin A enriched. So we can actually do quite a lot in the area of cassava if we have people who are willing to collaborate with us. We train them here and teach them about that here.
Okay, thank you very much. So Austin Uchechukwu just followed up with the email address or the database of those who have been trained as well. Uncle JK, there are a few questions. Please, can we just take them if they are ready, please?
No, fine, go ahead.
Go ahead. We also speak with you. So let's get, there's someone who is 21st century skills and resource. Can we get your question? Just unmute yourself quickly, please. Okay, the person is not ready. Can have your own lyric. Can you unmute yourself and ask your question?
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
All right. Good evening, all. My question is, to get straight to the point, is to looking at a way to solve the land problem in the Southeast. Is there a way that the CSS group can go into vertical farming, which invest in that part of the space, which really hasn't been tried in Nigeria. And most of the countries, the smaller countries in Far East Asia, Singapore and the likes, have actually thrived in doing that with the little land they have. So we have similar vegetation. So if it's something we can do in Imo State, in Imbise, I mean, if that's something that CSS Group with their vast knowledge and investment pool can look at going into, and I think it will benefit the people in our region. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The next person is Joshua. Can we hear from you quickly? Can you unmute yourself? Okay. Then Austin Uchechukwu. Can you? We've answered your question, Austin. But you can, if you have another question, you can unmute yourself. Okay. So I think we want to thank all the questions so far. Prof. I don't know.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead, Austin.
Hello, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Austin.
Yes, I have a question, and my question goes directly to Professor JK. It's concerning carrot production. I was part of the student that was trained in Nasarawa State by the emeritus governor, and I was opportune to be in Jos, Plateau State. I acquired some portions of land where I cultivated some carrots. At my first start, it was productive, but on the long run, I would like to say, as a result of me not getting improved seeds, how would I put it?
Yield.
As I was not able to get improved seeds of carrots, the farm yield was not encouraging. As a matter of fact, I lost a lot of money via that, which discouraged me, and I had to stop. I lost a lot of money and the piece of land I acquired. So I want to know, is there any way or is there anyhow I can get improved seed of carrots so I can go back to what I do before? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Austin. Okay, so Uncle JK, can you just respond to the question? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, moderator, and well done. For my brother Kemnande, we are doing already through the greenhouse vertical growing, through the process of education, we are able to do that because that is the only way we can help people because of when they have land challenges. The greenhouses have been able to help to manage smaller portion of land, but with maximum yield. It helps really to make quite a lot. Before now, ShopRite, they were importing sweet melon from South Africa, but since we started supplying them regularly sweet melon, they don't import sweet melon again. We grow them from our greenhouses. Our seedless cucumber, we grow from the greenhouses. So we can do quite a lot, which is what we're doing already in the vertical farming. It's something that I'm proud to tell you that we are on. Now, for my son, Austin, who was one of the trainees here, your question, I thought we told you, connect back to your alumni, get back to the system, that this is the challenge you have. We can give you the premium seat. I said to you, and you are already aware, when you were with me here, you see that we are growing carrot in Nasarawa. Ordinarily, it's impossible to grow carrot in Nasarawa, but we are doing that here because we have the improved seeds and we have the improved technology to be able to do that. I don't want you to be discouraged. Farming is about taking risk and committed risk. So I want to encourage you to go back, connect back to your alumni, that's our center here. We'll be able to work out with you to send you the improved seeds. I'm so happy one of my daughters that we trained, she wanted to start the broiler. She requested for special day old chicks, which we sent to her to help her start. And she started very well. The same thing for people who want juvenile from the fish. We can actually help you with the best of the quality from them. And then once you get that, you can get back to business. It's a good thing. Carrot is in high demand. We are not able to meet demands today. We need people like you. If you grow the carrot, we shall become your off-takers who can be able to buy from you and help to be able to salvage the situation in our country presently. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor JK, for your wonderful presentation and for the wonderful work you're doing at CSS Group. We have just touched one area, the integrative farming, and there's still a lot. I'm sure before the end of the year, we'll have other fora where you talk about many other areas under the CSS Group. But on behalf of all of us here, on behalf of we are deeply and we're so impressed by what we have seen today. You said you have a 1-minute video for us. I think it's only fitting.
1-minute video call, yes.
Yes, that we show.
I just want to give you the closing video.
So just 1 minute. Yeah, so please go ahead. We owe you that much video.
I'll show you now.
Yes.
All right, just 1 minute, you see it.
So thank you very much. And you really illuminated the house this evening. May God bless you immensely.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you.
So enable.
Okay. So we're waiting for the video.
Yes.
Please feel free to drop your comments, emails on the chat. We like to also continue to build this community as well.
And ladies and gentlemen, as I mentioned, we are moving on. And our next recipient is John Kennedy Opara, who is the chairman of the CSS group of companies from Nigeria.
CSS Group is one of the most diversified business conglomerates in Africa, with a reputation for excellence and creativity. Headquartered in the nation's federal capital territory, Abuja, Nigeria, CSS Group is a homegrown company poised to efficiently provide excellent goods and services at a competitive price through creativity, innovative technology, and strategic partnerships.
The full meaning of CSS is called servant to service, and that was taken from 1 Corinthians chapter 7 from verses 20-21. And every one of us is called to serve. From that name, we're able to launch out into different segments of the organization. We have the CSS construction, CSS integrated farms. We have the CSS energy, Rator, so many things that we are doing. But in the area of farming, by the mercy of God, in less than 2 years of existence or 3 years of existence, we are number one, the fastest growing agricultural training center in this country today, more than this country, even in West Africa. We do a lot of training, and our vision is simple. We want to empower young men who have lost hope of existence, who have lost hope of having a job. We turn them to heroes. We say in our place, farmers are heroes. And the whole idea is to make sure we engage them, teach them the basic techniques, let them know what they ought to do. Nigeria as a nation consists of about 3.5 million metric tons of fish, and we are producing less than 1.5 million metric tons. You can imagine where everyone who is not employed is engaged in the production of that alone. Look at soya bean, look at maize. the boys that I trained in the farm who were able to do an experiment last year, the international standard for growing maize is about 1.69 tons per hectare. But my boys, we did 4.6 tons per hectare. So you can imagine that if we can engage ourselves and our energy into this area, into this line, Nigeria will be a heaven on earth.
Thank you very much. That's my closing clip.
Very good, Doc. Very good. Very good, Prof.
Thank
Very
you.
good.
Appreciate it. So let the outreach continue. You have the email of CSS group. Their website is also available to you. So please feel free to reach out to the group and also help to celebrate the achievements of this great.
Ọwa ahụla jere ụwa anyị mere Chineke anyị anyị mere Chineke anyị anyị mere ọgbasa ọbụ onye mbụ ụjọ kọleze na nna na nwa na mmụọ nsọ amị bụ anyị kele ọgbasa ọbụ onye mbụ abụrụ ka anyị wụtachabala ọwa ahụla jere ụwa ụmụ jekọleze ndị egwu egwu na-abịa nnale abụrụ ka anyị wụtu ndị egwu egwu na-abịa nnale anyị ekele rekọdụ mba niile ekele rekọdụ anyị gụrụ agụ elu ụwa bịa rizọtụ anyị n'ogbe elu ụwa bịa rizọtụ anyị n'ogbe abalị jama nwanyị ya ga-awanye akọ ụmụ ya oge ụmụ jekọleze ndị egwu egwu na-abịa nnale abụrụ ka anyị bụ otu ndị egwu egwu na-abịa nnale anyị ekele rekọdụ mba niile mba niile ekele rekọdụ anyị gụrụ agụ elu ụwa bịa rizọtụ anyị n'egwe elu ụwa bịa rizọtụ anyị n'egwe oyije ewepụ ndagalị bịalị ebe nlọrụ ụwa mara mma ma na-adị nnere ebe nlọrụ ụwa kacha mma ala Mbaise ebe nlọrụ ụwa kacha mma Mbaise were jama atụlala Hadi dala malo nya lulu